Okay, we continue with the practical chemistry, and now we are going to study about how to identify the anion present in the compound. So we studied about the different gases, then we studied about the heating effect, and we studied about the cations which are present. Now we are going to study about the anions. So anions यानी वो कार्बोनेट है या क्लोराइड है या सल्फाइड है या नाइट्रेट है. So how do you identify that what kind of the anion is present in the compound? That is what you are going to see in this part of the chapter. So first of all, we very well know the heating effect से थोड़ा तो idea आ ही जाता है. So first we know is that carbonates, when they are going to be the carbonate salt with the reaction with acid. So carbonates with acid. So we studied in the acids chapter that carbonates, when they react with an acid, they give you carbon dioxide. Sulfates, when they react with sulfides, when they react with an acid, they are giving you sulfur dioxide. Sulfides, ID, when they react with acid, they give you hydrogen sulfide. Chlorides, when they react with sulfuric acid, will give you HCl. And nitrates will give you NO2. So this particular change, this particular thing will be your identification for the cations or the anion present in the compound. So whenever you are having any salt and you are made to react it with a acid, and the resultant one gives you a gas which can be identified as let's say carbon dioxide, then you know it is also carbonate. If it is identified as sulfur dioxide, then it is a sulfide. If you are identifying as a hydrogen sulfide, then it is a sulfide. Okay. If you are identifying it as a nitrogen dioxide, you know it's a nitrate. So this way you can identify the anion present in the salt. So we have first thing as carbonates. So salt plus dilute H2SO4 gives you CO2 evolved. Salt plus H2SO4 gives you SO2 evolved. Now, if this particular two salts, that carbonates and sulfides का ये है, that salt solution plus BaCl or BaNO3 solution gives you white precipitate soluble in HCl or HNO3. So the salt, which is a carbonate or a sulfide, when it reacts with the barium chloride or barium nitrate, it is going to give me a white PPT which is going to be insoluble, which will be soluble in HCl or dilute nitric acid. So the experimental part we are going to see it in the later part. So I'll just give you a general information first. Or else we can just go for that part also. So let's see the carbonates completely and sulfides completely. So if we see the carbonates, to add to the salt, add dilute sulfuric acid and heat. So what you see will be a colorless, odorless gas evolved which turns lime water milky and no effect on KMnO paper and K2Cr2O7 paper. So you know that whenever you are going to take that salt and you are going to add the acid to it, you are going to get the gas which will be evolved, which will be turning the lime water milky but no effect on KMnO paper or K2Cr2O7 paper. The next thing what you are going to do is to add to the salt solution, add a solution of barium chloride or barium nitrate. So if you take that carbonate, you are going to add barium chloride or barium nitrate into it. A white precipitate is formed which is soluble in dilute HCl. So that's the reaction that Na2CO3 plus BaCl2 will give me BaCO3, that is white PPT, plus NaCl. And BaCO3 where HCl will give BaCl2 plus H2O plus CO2. So you can see that the carbonate, when they reacted with barium chloride or barium nitrate, they gave rise to barium carbonate. Okay, barium carbonate was given out. The barium carbonate which is given out is a white colored precipitate. मैंने cation क्या लिया है salt का, उससे कोई मतलब नहीं है. What is important for me is what is the anion what I have taken, and therefore that what I am using is an acid. So acid, definitely there is going to be a double displacement taking place. So by the double displacement, what is going to happen is the NaCO3 अगर मैंने लिया है तो NaCO3 में Na will be having affinity to goes towards Cl, whereas Ba will left out with CO3, and accordingly will be forming BaCO3, which BaCO3, which is nothing but a white color precipitate. So the same thing, similar thing happens even with the sulfite. So sulfite also the same thing. To add to the salt, add dilute H2SO4 and heat. Colorless gas with suffocating odor evolved, which turns lime water milky and turns acidified KMnO4 paper pink to clear colorless and acidified K2Cr2O7 paper from orange to green. So this is exactly the test what we learned in the SO2 part. So SO2 का gas का identification जो था वही same यहाँ पे हम लोग लिखते हैं, that what is the observation when the sulfide salt is taken. The sulfide salt, when I am reacting it with a acid, it is going to give me a gas which is SO2, and the SO2 का test क्या है? SO2 will be a colorless suffocating odor kind of a gas which will be turning the lime water milky, but will have the acidified paper of KMnO4 turn from pink to colorless clear, and the KMnO4 paper from orange to green. Next thing is, again we are taking the salt and adding to it the solution of barium chloride or barium nitrate. So white PPT is formed which is soluble in dilute HCl. So again the same thing, we are taken Na2SO3 plus BaCl2. So BaCl2 का Cl और Na वो दोनों एक दूसरे के साथ में combine होंगे, and Ba will react with, of course, the CO3. So it will be BaCO3, which will be a precipitate form, which is a white color precipitate. This BaCO3, if it reacts with HCl, it is going to give you BaSO3, sorry, not CO3, SO3. BaSO3 with white precipitate, which is reacting with HCl to give you BaCl2 again, which is a soluble salt. So that is what is the test for carbonates and sulfites. The next we see is sulfide. So when you take a sulfide salt, you know that sulfide salt, when you are reacting with acid, it is going to give you hydrogen sulfide, Rottenach smell. So that is the test over here. So hydrogen sulfide, to add salt, to the salt add dilute hydrochloric acid, that sulfuric acid, and heat. To the salt add dilute sulfuric acid and heat. So colorless gas with Rottenach smell odor evolved, which turns acidified KMnO4 paper pink to colorless and acidified K2Cr2O7 from orange to green. Yellow particles of sulfur seen, the gas turns moist lead acided paper silvery black. So you can see the importance of the test which we conducted on the identification of gases, because that all things are the one which are going to use over here. You are going to use over here कि कौन सा गैस मिला जो ये turn करता है. So that is why you see over here that you are turning, in case of H2S, the test where first thing is giving you the same result as that of SO4 in case of potassium permanganate or potassium dichromate paper. Potassium dichromate paper is going to turn orange to green, and potassium permanganate paper is going to turn from pink to clear color, transparent. But there will be some green colored yellow colored spots of sulfur seen on it, and also it turns the lead acided paper silvery black. So that was about the sulfide. We now move on to sulfate. So sulfate के लिए direct कोई test नहीं है. Sulfates do not react with any acid directly to give you any specific thing. So we are going to have only a test which will be specific test. So the specific test over here will be the use of, again, barium chloride and barium nitrate. So we are using the same test for sulfite also. Sulfite and sulfate will have the same test, that it is going to give you barium chloride. We are going to react it with barium chloride or barium nitrate. So to salt add a solution of barium chloride or barium nitrate. White precipitate is formed, which is insoluble in HCl. So this is the most important difference. What is the most important difference over here? We see that BaSO3 was formed with SO3, and SO4 gives me BaSO4. So what's the difference? The difference over here is this one was soluble in HCl. Okay, you can see over here that it was soluble in HCl, whereas over here BaSO4 Yeah, it's soluble. BaSO4 is insoluble in HCl. So you can see over here that in this case over here, this is insoluble. This is insoluble in HCl. So this is the main difference of how to identify between a sulfide and a sulfate. A sulfide and a sulfate अगर रहेगा तो how do you identify it? So if you are using barium chloride or barium nitrate, it is going to give you barium sulfate. The barium sulfate which is going to be there will be insoluble in HCl. So we have white precipitate is formed which is insoluble in dilute HCl. Na2SO4 plus BaCl2 will give BaSO4 precipitate which is white PPT of plus 2 NaCl. So this BaCO3 and BaSO3 are soluble in dilute HCl, but BaSO4 is insoluble. Hence SO4 2 minus is distinguished from carbonates and sulfides. So that was a very important test between identification of carbonates, sulfides and sulfates. See, this is very important part because there is also a distinguish between calcium carbonate and calcium sulfite, or calcium carbonate and calcium sulfate, or calcium sulfite and calcium sulfate. So how do you distinguish between them? So it is these tests which is going to help you to distinguish between them. So the test what will be there will be very important in such cases. Okay, the next anion what we are going to study is chlorine. So there is chloride. Chloride, salt plus concentrated sulfuric acid will give you HCl gas, that is the evolving of the HCl gas. And also other test is salt with AgNO3 solution will give you white precipitate. So if the salt of that chloride is possible, so if at all a salt is possible, then that possible salt, if soluble, not possible, soluble. So because there are certain chlorides of salts which are not insoluble, there are chlorides which are insoluble. That's why this particular thing, that if that particular chloride is soluble, then you can use AgNO3 solution and it will give you white colored precipitate because it is going to form AgCl. So soluble in NH4OH, insoluble in dilute HNO3. So that is about the white PPT. So we see the chlorides. To salt, add concentrated sulfuric acid and heat. Colorless gas evolved which gives less dense white fumes when a glass lot dipped in ammonia. That ammonia is brought near it. So that was the first thing itself, that you are going to take this particular chloride. So chloride का कोई भी salt है, उसके अंदर हमने dilute sulfuric acid, concentrated sulfuric acid use किया, so it is going to give rise to HCl gas. That is what exactly we studied in the HCl chapter, how the preparation of HCl took place, and then how do you identify it? By the glass rod dipped in ammonia gives you dense white fumes of ammonium chloride. Passage of gas evolved above through AgNO3 solution. So another example will be HCl के टेस्ट के हम लोग हमने पढ़ा था. HCl का जो टेस्ट था उसमें था AgNO3. If I am passing HCl through AgNO3, then a white colored precipitate will be formed, soluble in NH4OH, insoluble in HNO3. So AgNO3 plus HCl will give you AgCl, white PPT, plus HNO3, and AgCl plus NH4OH will give you AgNH3 twice Cl plus 2H2O. So you can see that AgNO3 will give you, with HCl, will give you it's AgCl. So that AgCl is a precipitate, okay, that will be a white color precipitate. So the formation of the white color precipitate when AgNO3 is reacted with the gas is the kind of identification of HCl gas. Last one test over here will be the reaction of the oxides of metal with the HCl gas. So you remember chlorine gas was evolved. If you remember the HCl chapter, we had learned this thing, that chlorine gas is going to be evolved. So now add MnO2 and concentrate H2SO4 to the salt and heat. Greenish yellow gas with a pungent odor evolved which turns moist starch iodide paper blue-black. You can see very important thing over here, they are neither given us the equation, neither they are given us that it is a gas which is chlorine in the name. what they are given is only the tests. The test over here is that it is turning the, it is greenish yellow in color, it is pungent, pungent odor, and it is turning the moist iodide, starch iodide paper blue black. So this is the thing which is going to tell you that the salt present has got an anion which is a chloride. The last one is nitrate. So nitrates, NO3, we know very well salt plus Cu plus H2SO4 will give you NO2 evolved. So we are going to get the NO2 is going to be given out when it is going to be heated or heated with constant sulfuric acid. Or if I am taking a salt plus FeSO4 plus HNO3, it will be the brown ring test. So whatever test we did for the nitric acid part, the brown ring test है, या तो जी NO2 being evolved का जो test है, that things are going to be used for the identification of anion nitrates. So you can see the nitrates to the salt add concentrated sulfuric acid and copper turnings and heat. Now because when you take copper turnings, the reddish brown fumes which are going to be evolved will be on a higher rate. The rate of giving out fumes will be higher. So that is why we are putting the copper turnings. So that is acting as a, you can say, a catalyst sort of thing. So reddish brown fumes and evolved which liberates violet vapors of Ki solution and turns potassium iodide paper brown. So that is the NO2. So NO2 का जो भी ये था, that is the identification, that was the violet papers of iodine were given out by Ki solution, and the potassium iodide paper turns brown are the two tests for NO2 which you are going to read or which you are going to apply over here. Second is, to the salt and the acidified ferrous sulfate solution, you will find a brown ring formed at the junction. That is the brown ring test. So that is the identification for nitrate. So the formation of the brown ring at the junction tells you that it is a nitrate. The salt which is taken is a salt of nitrate. So that was about the nitrates. Yeah. So now we move ahead with the distinction, the acids and alkaline solution distinction between them. So how to identify? Now it is quite general now. So it is something very easy. So very general. So we'll move about very easily now. Something not too specific. It is quite general. So already learned by. Okay. So test-wise indicators, of course, litmus solution turns blue to red in acidic, red to blue in alkaline. Methyl orange, orange to pink in acidic, and orange turns yellow in alkaline. Phenolphthalein colorless remains colorless in acidic, colorless turns pink in alkaline. Chemical test-wise, Na2CO3 and plus heat will give you carbon dioxide with the acidic solution. Evolved gas is carbon dioxide because it turns lime water milky and has no effect on K2SCO2O7 solution. Whereas in alkaline solution, CO2 is not going to be evolved, and if you add NH4Cl and heat, then the acidic will have no ammonia gas evolved, whereas the alkaline solution will give you ammonia is evolved. So this is the identifications of the test. So in an acidic solution, if I am taking carbonate, then it is going to give carbon dioxide but no effect on alkaline. But if I am taking any salt chloride, that is ammonium chloride, and I am using it with acid, it is not giving to no effect on the acid, but it is going to give me ammonia gas with the alkaline solution. So that was about acid and alkaline solutions. The next we see is a typical example of identification of copper oxide and manganese dioxide. Now, why is this required? First of all, why do it is required is because when I talk about black colored metallic substances, so black colored metallic substances में there are only two. Copper oxide is black metallic and manganese dioxide is another black colored thing. So if they have given me two black colored metal oxides, then how do I identify that which is copper and which is manganese? So that is the test over here, what we are taking here. It is So now the first thing is heat with concentrated hydrochloric acid. So first thing is you are going to heat it with concentrated hydrochloric acid. Now copper oxide, which is black colored iron, chlorine gas will be evolved from the HCl. So from the HCl, chlorine gas is going to be given out. This is going to be taking place. Sorry, chlorine gas is not going to be evolved in the case of copper oxide, but it is going to be evolved in manganese dioxide. We have learned that in the HCl chapter that manganese dioxide, when it reacts with HCl, it is going to give me chlorine gas. So that particular property we are going to identify between CuO and MnO. So MnO2. So MnO2, when it reacts with 4HCl, will give you MnCl2 plus H2O plus Cl2. Whereas CuO plus HCl will give you CaCl2 plus H2O. So that is why you are not going to get any chlorine gas when you are reacting the oxide of copper, whereas you are going to get chlorine gas when you are reacting the manganese dioxide with the HCl. Now, if you filter the solution, the filtrate is bluish in color in case of the copper oxide, whereas the filtrate is brownish in color in case of manganese dioxide. So when you are filtering it out, so whatever your reaction you are done with HCl, और उसके बाद अगर उसको filter करता हूँ, तो what I get will be CuCl2 का filtrate जो है will be bluish in color, whereas MnCl2 का जो color है that will be brownish in color. To filtrate, add NH4OH. If I add NH4OH to CuCl2, then I know that CuCl2 is going to give me CuOH twice. So CuOH twice will be pale blue in color, and on addition of excess of that, that will be, yeah, of course, it will be inky blue and or deep blue. So that is the same thing what we learned earlier. So copper is going to give me with the copper का जो भी residue filtrate जो मुझे मिला, that is copper chloride, when it is reacting with NH4OH, it is going to give me a pale blue colored precipitate first, which is soluble in excess of NH4OH, which gives rise to a deep blue or inky blue kind of a solution. Whereas MnO2, no color changes. MnO2 does not react with the NH4OH to give you any kind of precipitate. So no precipitate is formed in case of MnO2. So that was a typical example of the differentiation between copper oxide and manganese dioxide. Now relevant laboratory work may be done for the following. So they have given some laboratory work, that is sodium bicarbonate on heating with HCl will give you NaCl plus H2O plus CO2. Calcium carbonate will give you again CaCl2 plus H2O plus CO2. Sodium carbonate will be NaCl plus H2O plus CO2. Calcium carbonate on with nitric acid will give you CnO3 plus H2O plus CO2. Sodium sulfide with HCl will give you NaCl plus H2O plus SO2. And iron sulfide will give you FeS plus H2SO4 will give you FeSO4 plus H2S. Action of alkali के अंदर aluminium with NaOH plus water will give you NaAlO2 plus H2, that is again the amphoteric substance. Al2O3 plus NaOH, NaAlO2 plus H2O. Zn plus NaOH will Na2ZnO2 plus H2. ZnO plus NaOH will be Na2ZnO2 plus H2. Pb plus NaOH will give you Na2PbO2 plus H2, and PbO plus NaOH will give you Na2PbO2 plus H2O. These are basically the reactions of the amphoteric substances aluminium, zinc and lead. So aluminium, zinc and lead with concentrated alkali forming soluble sodium salts and hydrogen. Sodium salts are sodium aluminate, sodium zincate and sodium plumbite respectively. Hydrogen gives a pop sound with glowing splinter. And oxides of aluminium, zinc and lead are amphoteric and react with concentrated alkali forming sodium salts plus water. White cloudy solution obtained slowly settles down. So this is about the action of the amphoteric substances with alkali. We can see there are some color changes given over here. So you can see the dirty green color which was Fe2, and this dirty green color in small amount dirty green, and then it is in excess which is given over here, which is insoluble. Similarly ferric will be reddish brown, in excess it is going to be insoluble. In copper sulfate will be in small will be pale blue, and in deep blue in case of excess. Calcium will be small, no precipitate, in small also, in excess also no precipitate. Zinc will be a gelatinous white, and it will be in excess soluble, and in case of lead it will be chalky white and excess insoluble. The carbonate का test के लिए you are given the color changes for the KMnO4 paper. So KMnO4 paper, they are given no effect on KMnO4 paper for carbonates, no effect of KMnO4 on K2Cr2O7 paper with carbonates, and with giving you a BaCO3, that is a white color precipitate, which is seen when reacting with HCl or HNO3. Sulfides will give you you can see the change over here. The pink colored paper turned colorless, the orange colored paper turned green, and it is giving you a white color precipitate. For sulfates, we can see that the white color precipitate is there, precipitate when and it is insoluble in HCl, and whereas in HNO3 it is also insoluble, whereas it was soluble in case of sulfides. Sulfide, it is going to turn the lead acetate paper silvery black, and chlorides, it is giving you the dense white fumes firstly, and also the white precipitate which is soluble in NH4OH and dilute HNO3 insoluble. Nitrates ka reddish brown color is seen, and it is also which turns the Ki paper brown is also seen, and the brown ring is also shown over there in the picture. In the next page you have got the process of titration shown over here. The conduction of titration is shown over there, that where is that the long burette and is there, and then the change in the color. So the NaOH, which is pink in color, becomes colorless as soon as you add drop by drop the water, the hydroxide into it, so acid into it. So NaOH plus H2SO4 will give you NaCl plus HCl. It will be Na2SO4 plus H2O. So that was the color. Then they have got the pH scale दिया है from 0 to 14, and then the colors of the flames are given, that is golden yellow for sodium, lilac for potassium, reddish brick red for calcium, and green for copper. So these are the things what are there in this chapter. Yeah, but quite an easy chapter as such, but as I told you, very very important, because the first section, the 40-mark section of the chemistry paper, उसमें से around 20 marks does come as observations, and they say the difference between the two compounds, or identify this particular cation, or identify the anion. This kind of questions are there. So it's very important to learn the practical chemistry and also the analytical chemistry properly to score good marks in the first section, okay, which is the compulsory section. So that was the end of practical chemistry. Thank you.